Good morning. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a house tour. So I thought I would start the video with me chatting to you a little bit before I get into showing you the house, because if you follow me on Instagram you will have seen that the house move didn't exactly go as we planned. And if you watched my previous video, you will have seen a bit of a glimpse of the outside of the house that we were supposed to be moving into. This is not that house. So let me take you back to our moving day. Our moving day was Thursday the 8th. So the day that our removals came to our previous house was Thursday the 8th of August. They turned up promptly, everything was going great, they were packing up. We were literally down to the Christmas decorations that needed to be put into the van when Carl got a phone call, and actually at this time I had taken George out of the way and we'd gone to a cafe that was in our village. So I had just ordered a nice sandwich and a drink to just chill for half an hour with George in the cafe while they finished up, and then we were going to return to the house, get our stuff together and make our way up here to Shropshire. However, I got the phone call, it was about 11:30 in the morning, and Carl said, "I've got some bad news." So the house that we were meant to be moving into tomorrow, so we were meant to be moving into our house on Friday, 9 o'clock we were picking up the keys and doing our, what they call in the military, a march in. So less than 24 hours before we got the phone call saying we couldn't move into that house. They didn't tell us why, they just told us that it needed long-term work doing on it and we could not move in on the following day. So I rushed back to the house and Carl was saying to me, I need to get to an MOD laptop, I need to accept the new house that they're giving us. And we were just frantically, well, he was frantically trying to find an MOD laptop to get onto so that we had a house to move into. I was obviously absolutely furious about this. So we accepted this house about 6 weeks before, 4 to 6 weeks before this point. They'd sent us a few different houses, we chose one and it was all done. So they'd had at least a month to tell us that, to go and check this house and tell us that it needed long-term work and it wasn't going to be ready in time. Even if they told us the Monday before and given us a few days, that would have been fine. Because being previously in the military myself, I know things happen last minute, and I know this happens with military life. It's just it's just the way it is. But less than 24 hours before, I was fuming. So Carl is very chilled and will just go with the flow and he takes everything in his stride. However, I was not happy. And I thought, this is not our mess up, this is theirs. Why is my husband then having to run around to look for an MOD laptop to accept a new house? Surely it should be them doing the running around for us. The lady on the other end of the phone was really not very sympathetic or empathetic. She didn't seem to care. She was like, well, if you don't want to accept this new house, then you can just stay in the house you're in. I was like, my house is empty. Everything is in a removal van. I have an 11-month-old. You expect me to stay in an empty house? Yeah, she didn't care, so that obviously got my back up even more. Anyway, that was the ordeal that we had on the Thursday. We decided to travel up to Shawbury regardless. We had an Airbnb booked for the night before, thankfully, and we thought, right, we'll deal with the people in person when we see them on the Friday morning and see what's going on. They did send us some photos, which we did manage to get sent to Carl's, you know, normal email address, personal email address. And the state of the house, I was like, you're giving me no choice. You're giving me a house that looks just not very nice, and you're telling me you either stay in an empty house or you choose this one and move into this one tomorrow. So yeah, this was really put my back up. So we came up here, we had our evening in the Airbnb, and then we turned up at 9:15 when our march-in was booked for our other house. And we turned up because actually the house they offered us was right opposite the other one that we could not move into. Thankfully, the people that turned up in person were completely separate to those that we spoke to on the phone, who were not helpful or apologetic at all. We'd never got an apology from them. They were so lovely, could not have helped us more and been more apologetic for the situation. And as it turned out, we looked around this house that they were then offering us, which were the photos that we got that just looked awful. And as it turned out, the house had actually been gutted, had a brand new kitchen, brand new bathroom, and looked nothing like the photos. So I was so relieved. The only thing was, because it was last minute giving us this house as an option, there'd been no work done on the outside. So when you march out of a military house, I suppose it's, I don't know, because I've never rented a house in Civvy Street, as we call it, but I imagine it's similar. Maybe it's not to such a high standard, but when you march out of and that's the term given if you're just moving out of a military house, so march out, you have to adhere to certain criteria of how you leave that house behind for the next tenants. You have to, if you painted it, you have to paint it back to magnolia. You have to maintain the outside of the house. You have to clean it thoroughly. The outside of this house was not up to the standard that they expect of us when we're moving out of a house. So obviously me moving into one like that, I was not happy. There were cigarette butts outside the back door. There's plastic in the borders around. It had not been weeded, which you're expected to do. You could tell the grass had just been cut from really high because it was yellow, whereas our neighbour's grass was like lush and green. The dead grass had been shoved in the corner. It's still like this, you'll see it. The shrubs are overgrown. We've not actually got around to sorting the outside of the house ourselves yet, because they're not doing it for us now. So yeah, you'll see the state of the outside. So the outside is not up to standard. The shed is really shabby and unusable. But apart from that, the inside is lovely. It's been lovely as far as a military house goes. The kitchen is lovely, and by far the nicest kitchen I've ever seen in a military quarter. Anyway, I've been talking for nearly 10 minutes, but I felt like I needed to just update you, because if you saw my last video, you'll be like, that's not the house you said you were moving into. And no, it's not. But actually, we're a week on now. We've been here a week, and yes, we can see the house that we were meant to move into every day. You can see it from our kitchen window. But I actually don't feel bitter about that now. I did for a couple of days. And I'm actually really happy where we are. Yes, from the outside, there's a row of 4 houses that don't look like the others, and we're in one of those 4. But actually I'm very happy. It's quite a big house. It's bigger than the one we came from, and once we've got the outside of it sorted and cleaned up, then it'll be really nice. And it's our family home. So a week on, I've got over the ordeal. I was happy with how we were dealt with in person here, regardless of the lady that I spoke to on the phone. And it's not ideal, but I'm over it, and I'm happy with our home. So I'm going to show you around. I've sat down in my office, which is completely finished, but before we get to this room and I show you properly, I'm going to just take you to the outside of the house, show you what it looks like on the outside, and then we'll come in and do it. Carl has taken George out. He's just gone popped to the supermarket to get a few bits. So it's just me and Arnie in the house. So there are still things that we want to do. There's still a few boxes downstairs and things aren't completely finished. But like I said, we've only been in a week. We've done a lot. There are some negatives to this house compared to our last house, and there are things that are better. So as we go round, I will tell you those as well. This is the front of our house. As you can see, it's a lot older than the other house that we were meant to be in. So our house goes to there, and then so it's semi-detached, so we are attached to one on one side, and this is the front of the house. However, I'll show you in a minute, this door we will hardly ever use apart from like when the mail comes, but that's our house. And what's really nice about the front of this house, the other house looked over the road and actually looked over this house, but our outlook, we're not overlooked at all. It's literally, that is the back gate of the camp there, so Carl can literally walk to work, which is great. Park for George over there, which is really, really nice. I'll take you around the side actually first. So this is our back garden, and you can see this is the house that we were meant to move into. So I mean, you can see that the windowsills haven't been cleaned, it's not been weeded, it's not been maintained at all. There's like plastic rubbish down here, there's cigarette butts down there. They're actually some of our poo bags, so that's us, not them. As you can see, the garage is shabby. I don't know if this is unlocked. It is. So it's very full. I've actually not been in here since we've been sorting out, but we do need to organise the garage. But the one negative about this house compared to our other one is, although we do have a garage, which is great, because if we didn't have this garage, I don't know what we would do with all of our stuff, because there are no storage cupboards. There's no cupboard, there's no wardrobe, like inbuilt wardrobes in this house, which we had in the last one. There's no storage cupboard downstairs, nothing. But this is our garage. Thank goodness for this garage. So then our garden, and this is how we enter the house, because this is our drive here. So this is the front of our garage, just here, and then this is our drive, so it does fit about 2 cars on. The other negative is we haven't got a proper patio. So for now we've just put our garden furniture there. It may even go into the garage, as we are at the end, coming towards the end of August now, so we might even put it in the garage if we've got room, to keep it out of the elements over the winter. Our veggie pod is just there for now again, because we haven't touched the outside. Our shabby shed, which is got ivy all in growing inside, so we can't really use it. I think Carl has popped the lawnmower in there, but our grass is starting to go green, but it was pretty much all this colour before, and we've got quite a lot of unnecessary shrubs in here. So my mum and dad are coming next weekend, and obviously my dad is a self-employed gardener, so he has all the tools that we need to tidy this up. So Dad, if you're watching this, I need to do a poo patrol, trying to watch where I step. If you're watching this, Dad, this is what you've got to work with when you come up with Carl. You can't get to the window to clean it because of that shrub there. And they've just put all like the dead grass and stuff in the corner. It just looks very untidy and not very appealing to come and spend time in. But this is the back perspective of the house. Here's Arnie to say hello and welcome to our new home. Carl's massive shoes. And yeah, you have to excuse, obviously we are living in it, so it's not really tidy. But yeah, and we are still sorting things out, so forgive me for any mess boxes or anything like that. But this is our kitchen, which we are absolutely over the moon with, because if you are watching this and you're a military family, you will know that this never happens. If you saw, I'll actually I'll link my moving in video, because I did manage to do a empty house tour for our last quarter. I'll link that and go and look at the kitchen that we lived with for nearly 4 years there. This is a treat, and I have never, I'm 36, and like I said, lived in the military sort of environment and housing my whole life, and I have never, ever seen a kitchen as nice and as new as this. And we are actually the first people to live in this house with this kitchen, so we are very lucky. Then through to the dining room, which we never had a separate dining room before, and actually we're already loving having this space separate from the living room, because we come down in the morning and we don't even go into the living room, we don't turn the telly on, we come into here, we sit and we have breakfast and we talk together as a family. Well, George isn't doing much talking yet, but you know, it won't be long, I'm sure. We do want to change the curtains in here. These are the curtains that came in every single room, and again, for military curtains, these are actually pretty good, because usually you get some garish orange ones with a garish print on, but actually we would have quite happily left these ones up, but because we have our own curtains, we're going to put them up. And actually in our bedroom we're leaving these ones up, so yeah, we are going to change those in here. And we do have a few things to go on the walls. We haven't put anything downstairs, we've put nothing on the walls yet, so that's another job, you know. And we're not fussed about decorating it too much in here, because we don't plan on being here that long. We do have plans to buy our own house, hopefully next year. My flat is up for sale, so once that's gone, like once that's sold and it's gone through, we'll start the process for buying our own place. So yeah, we don't know how long we're going to be in here, but we're hoping it's not for, you know, it won't be for a few years, that's for sure. So anyway, so we've just got Arnie's dog bed over in the corner, my little treadmill in the corner there as well, and it's like where we put our washing. And yeah, bit of a miscellaneous room, but we're really liking the just having a separate dining room. These cupboard, you'll see these cupboard doors in a few of the rooms, including upstairs, and I'll show you in them because they're deceiving. You think, Charlotte, you've got storage. You open them, it's not storage. A little bit, and Carl's just popped our photos in that need to go on the walls, but yeah. So this is the hallway. Come out of here, you go left to the stairs, and then this is our front door. So we've got some hooks up here, which we'll use. We've got some more here as well, but it's quite narrow here, so I didn't want to put anything on there. So we've got some coats there. We are using this as a storage room though, so this looks like it used to be the front door, and they've put on this little porch thing, maybe because there is no storage in these houses. So we just bought a little coat rack here to put some shoes on. So again, this is used for storage. Our Hoover is going there, our wash basket, our ironing board. So yeah, this is what we're using for a store cupboard, but we do have to leave the door free because mail will come through here. So yeah, you coming out? So that is essentially our storage cupboard. This is under the stairs, so there is no door on this, so we've just stored boxes there for now that just need to be broken down, and I think there's still some curtains in one, and yeah, so things like that need to be sorted and taken out to the garage. So yeah, that's that. This is our living room in here, which we really love the size of, actually. It's not too big, it's not too small. Fits our furniture in. They did have a job getting our sofa in, but they got it in. Carl's put up our own curtains this morning, which is nice. And it feels really nice and cozy in here. I don't think we're going to use that, but we do want to get some bits on the walls still. So yeah, it is nice and cozy in here with the lamp on an evening, and I've already sussed that I think we're going to move that chair over a bit and the Christmas tree will go there, because who doesn't think of that the first thing when they move into a house? Upstairs is out to the garden. We need to clean the windows. The stairs are pretty steep, and we have this funny garden gate kind of looking thing on the stairs, but that's actually quite handy with having George, so you can lock it. And then left is our bedroom. Now, like I said, There are no built-in wardrobes like we had in our other house, which was our first quarter. So we didn't buy wardrobes in our last house, so we don't have any wardrobes. So again, it was a run to B&M job, and we got a couple of clothing rails which have done us, and we've got some plastic containers that we've put like folded clothes, like gym clothes, pajamas, jumpers, things like that in. And like I said, we're just leaving these curtains up that were here because this room, again, because we want to buy our own house, we don't want to buy wardrobes for here and then they don't work in our forever home. Because I'll show you the wardrobe. You can't call it a wardrobe. Look how shallow that is. It is literally the width of a shoe. They've got a hanging rail here, but then they've got a shelf below it, so you can't actually hang any clothes. And it's the same all the way along. So I've just literally used it as a shoe cupboard. I've managed to put in my smaller suitcases down the bottom. And then up here, again, it's just quite a shallow, that's stuff to put on Vinted. Again, some shoe boxes up there. So absolutely no space to put any clothes whatsoever. The reason we don't have a bed frame is because we got rid of it before we moved, because this bed frame that we had has done several moves already and it was falling apart. The drawers wouldn't close properly on it. So we do need to get ourselves a new bed frame. We're just gonna keep our eye out on like Facebook Marketplace or something for a second hand, just bed frame, so we can get off the floor. Because again, we obviously do want to buy a new bed. This is just a double as well, and with us being, I'm 5'9", Carl's 6'4", we need a bigger bed than a double, but we want to wait until we're in our own house to buy a new bed. So we are going to keep a lookout if anybody local to Shropshire or Shawbury, Shrewsbury area has a bed frame. They're getting a double bed frame, white preferably, but it doesn't have to be, that they're getting rid of. Let me know. So yeah, and then we've got our bedside tables, our bedside lamps, so it's fine for now. We have got our actual mattress under there, so it's comfy. But this is the one room we're not going to really bother with because we don't spend any time in here. Yeah, we just sleep in here, and I will show you the room that I'm going to be spending most of my time in. So through here, again, we didn't have anywhere in our bedroom to put the mirror that was in our old bedroom. I do need to clean it, I know. So we put it on the landing so that I can plug my hairdryer in here and I can do my hair at the top of the stairs if I want to, or yeah, because there was just no room for it in there. Our wash basket on the landing, so it's a bit zigzaggy. And then, as you can see, that is George's room, but I'll come to that in a minute. This is the room I will be spending most of my time in. You can probably tell by the curtains and the colour and the products on there what room this is. This is my office. So this is a 3-bed house, whereas our last one was just a 2-bed. So we're really lucky to get a 3-bed still. Because it allows me, obviously I work from home, it does allow me my workspace separate to George's room, because obviously me and George were sharing in the last one, so he gets his own room and I still get my own workspace. So I'm really happy with this. I'll spin you around. So you come in the door there, I've got a couple of bits on the back of the door, my prints up, my makeup chair, my light, I love my gold plant. And then the desk area, I put it up against the window, so when I'm doing videos or Facebook Lives or Instagram stories or anything, I can set my phone up on the windowsill, get nice natural light. And then my other corner shelves there. And then this is something new that I didn't do in the last house, was these fans I've got from like either the Glammies events or Tropic Fest, and they were too pretty not to display. So Carl just put a little pin, a little nail in them just to hold them in place, and I think they look really nice, and they got a nice reaction on Instagram as well from other ambassadors, so really chuffed with those. And I did get myself some new curtains. I saw these in B&Q. See if I can get the light right. Obviously they've got the tropic leaves on them. Yeah, so I really like them, and I'm really pleased with this room. We just used the paint that we used. We had some paint left over from when we painted our bedroom in the old house. So we used that in here, did the whole room, and yeah, really pleased with it. And I already love spending time in here, and every time I come in it's so nice because they just did an offer the other month where if you hosted a pamper party you got one of these for free, and it smells amazing. If you've ever tried Tropics Body Smooth, the citrusy scent of that is basically what this smells like. And every time I walk in here I'm hit with that scent, and it smells beautiful. So I absolutely love spending my time in here already. I did a makeup one-to-one last night, so I've already started working in here. I've already got some local customers. I know we've only been here a week, but I've definitely hit the ground running, which is why it was important to get this room done so that I could, you know, work doesn't stop when you work for yourself. So really happy with this space. And then out of here, I'll take you straight across here. We've got, this is another thing that this house doesn't have. It only has one toilet. So we don't have a downstairs toilet, which we did in the last house, and we are missing it at the moment, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. It's mainly in the evening when George is asleep in bed and we want the toilet, and we come up and we're tiptoeing around, and then we don't want to flush the toilet. There's risk waking him up. So anyway, that's yeah, although it being separate from the bathroom is nice. So if Carl's in there for half an hour, I don't have to wait if I want to get to the bathroom. The other thing, although the bathroom is brand new, so it's similar kind of thing to the kitchen downstairs, and it's all white tiles and really lovely, it is tiny. That is how wide it is. And when we walked around this, I actually had to tell Carl to come and stand in this bathroom, because I was like, when I walk in, you know, you can see there's my shoulder, there's the wall, so there's not loads of room. And I was like, Carl, he's considerably wider than me on the shoulders. I was like, do you fit in this bathroom? He does. So, you know, you just make it work. So, and I can't stand any further back. This is how small this is. But a perk is that this shower has a lot more pressure than our last shower. If ever you stayed at our house before, I know Carl's sister Lisa thought our shower was broken in the last house because it was that drippy. There was no power at all. This one is nice because it's brand new, so that's great. Very small, but it's lovely. And I can't believe I almost didn't show you this. Again, this went down very well when I shared it on Instagram. I love the bathroom cabinet. And I've organised, I obviously didn't ask Carl at all if he wanted a shelf. He has drawers in here. This just makes me very happy. Look how beautiful that is. A whole shelf of serums and oils, face masks and miscellaneous, and all of my moisturisers, toners, cleansers. Oh, it's beautiful. And Carl uses this too. This isn't just for me, so, you know, he's not hard done by, don't worry. Again, a sorry excuse for a storage cupboard. I've managed to put some spare toilet rolls in there, paint left over that we had, our spare duvet, pillows in there for when my parents come and visit, some towels, and are you ready? George's very first bedroom. Let me turn you around for this bit actually. So like I said, in the last house, because I was still taking beauty clients when I was pregnant, and even when I had, after I'd had George, I had George in August. It's his birthday in a few days. And Carl was lucky enough to be off work for about 3 or 4 months after I'd had George. So I did go back, I had George in August, and I did start back with beauty clients, doing nails, facials, lash lifts in the October. So I still needed my office and my workspace. So we just put George's cot in the corner of the bedroom. So we shared that space, that second bedroom. So I never had the opportunity really to do a proper nursery like most women do when they're pregnant. And although I didn't miss it at the time, now I've done it here, I've really enjoyed it. I've really wanted to get his room, it's not finished, there's still other things we want in there, but I wanted it to look like a little boy's room for him in time for his birthday, which is the 21st of August. And yeah, I'm really excited that he's got his own room, and he already loves it, and I'll show you why. But again, his room has next to no storage. So we did get, thank you to Emma, one of my friends, who lives down near our old house, who sent me the link to this little kids clothes rack from Homebase that was just £12, really cute and perfect for his clothes, because before they were on Carl's clothes rack. So he's got his own little clothes rack here, and we did have some paint left over, so we have painted it, half of it, the same green that my office is. And you could probably tell just by that little glimpse of the theme of this room, we've gone for like a safari themed room. We do need to sort the tie backs out. We have got tie backs there on the windowsill, but just need the little hooks to get the curtains looking all nice. But we're just letting them drop out for now. And then this is the cute bit. Look at that little shot there. So I got this little sort of raffia storage basket. It's, if you can't tell, it's the shape of an elephant. I mean, it's pretty useless for storage. I might be able to put a few toys in there, but it was just because it was a cute elephant that I wanted it. And then Grandad Gledhill kindly bought George this for his birthday, this really lovely giraffe. Yeah, I absolutely love it. George loves it. He, thank goodness he's not terrified of it. I did worry that he might be, but he's not. He smiles at, we've called him Jerry, Jerry the giraffe. He smiles at Jerry and he loves Jerry. He's knocked him over a few times, but they're good friends. And then I got these prints off Etsy, and then I just got the frames from the range. So a G for George, and then I went for the little lion cub and the little baby elephant as well. You could choose what animals you wanted, and they're the ones that I chose. But I really, really love how this looks. And that little shot there is just, I love it. It's a proper little boy's room. We obviously want to get a plant for his, I did this with my friend Emma as well, actually. This was when George was 6 months old. That's his foot and his hand. So we want to get a little plant for in there. And we need some sort of storage, like shelves or something down here, you know, that we can put these on. And I did say I think a nice rug in here would look really nice as well. But for now, we've done quite a lot. It will develop as time goes on. And I'd also like something on this wall because it looks quite empty. But yeah, this is George's room. And I believe that is everything to show you. So thank you for listening to my story. I'll come back in my office. If you stuck with me through the first 10 minutes of this video, thank you, and you watched the rest of it. But I just wanted to update you because I know I put a few things on Instagram, and a lot of you kindly reached out to me checking I was alright and hoping that the move was going smoothly. It didn't, but it's gone smoothly since we've got in here. Yeah, it's just been quite a lot of work to do to get it homely because everything's magnolia, and it's quite cold, and you know. So we've done a lot in the last week. We still have a fair bit to do, particularly to the outside, like I said, but we're happy with how it is inside, and it'll all be ready for George's birthday to enjoy our family home in a few days' time. So that's the main thing. I think that's been the driving force for me, particularly to get things sorted and organised and nice, because you know Carl goes back to work on Monday. It's now Saturday, so I didn't want us to still have lots of work to do when he's at work and still be living in a house that's covered in boxes everywhere. So we're in a really good place. We're actually gonna we're trying to slow down a little bit with regards to doing things to the house now and enjoy some time together. So we're taking George for his first swimming session this afternoon. Just me and Carl, like it's not a lesson or anything. We're just going to take him to the local swimming pool. We've been wanting to do this for ages. Better late than never, but I know he's going to love it, because even when it's not bath time, if he's up here and he's crawling around, he tries to crawl into the bathroom. He did it in our old house as well. Tries to crawl into the bathroom and climb in the bath. So hopefully he loves it. I'll be surprised if he doesn't, but we're going to do that this afternoon, and then just have a chill day at home tomorrow. Carl will have uniform to sort out, meal prep for the week, to get organised for our first week with our new routine, with Carl going to work, coming home at the end of the day. Oh, I'm so excited for it. Feels really strange, but normal family life, but for us it's quite a moment, because we've never had this since George has been born. We've never had Carl go to work, come home from work. We've never had to function as a family with him going to work since we had George, because the first few months of George's life, Carl was off work, so we were just together and didn't have to worry about him going to work. Then he worked away for 9 months. So yeah, whole new routine for us. I'm sure we'll have some teething problems, but we are really excited about it. And Carl actually went to, and I'm gonna wrap this up now, but Carl actually went to football training on Wednesday night this past week, and he came home and was like, how nice is it? He said it's so nice to go to football training and come home to me and George. Obviously before, he just went to football training and went back to his room on his own during the week. So it's probably some things that most families don't even think about, but for us it's a big deal. So yeah, it's really exciting to just be together again on a daily basis and just have that normal family life and routine. What is mundane for every other family, and will probably be mundane for us eventually, but we're very excited about the 8 till 5, him going to work, coming home, and yeah, because we've not had it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked what we've done with the house, and we are very pleased despite the ordeal that we had at the start. We're really excited for my parents to come up for George's birthday later next week and for them to see it. So the fact that we're excited for them to see it shows that we're really happy with our house, and I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you haven't already, because yeah, like I said, it is my son's first birthday in a few days, and we are his birthday's on Wednesday, so Carl will be at work, so we're not going to do anything on his actual birthday particularly, but we do plan to take him to the zoo for the first time next weekend with my parents up here as well, so that'll be really lovely. We're going to take him to Chester Zoo, which I don't think I've ever been to before either. So, and just explore our new home up here in Shropshire. So if you are from Shropshire or around this sort of area, Shrewsbury, let me know in the comments recommendations of days out, family days out, things to do with kids, and I would really appreciate it, because if you type them down below, I can always refer back and check when we have a day free that we can go out and do something, because we are not familiar with this area at all. I'd never been to Shawbury or Shrewsbury like when I was in the RAF, so it's completely new and very exciting. So yeah, leave your recommendations in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you're all well, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.